So that we've spoken about learning in the classroom sense, but in the physical sense, if your body and brain don't seem to be communicating, is that related? And how can you explain a little bit about that?
Well, that's,
Maybe all of you.
That's kind of. So if you think of executive functions, which we all have executive functions. If our brain is not able, has got a lag in particular areas, it's sending messages to the body, and so the body's interpreting those messages and it's exhibiting it as a behaviour. So if we've got poor time management, we will see someone who struggles to get to school. There could be other reasons, obviously. So if we have poor planning, and like you say, task initiation, we will see that in that workspace, that academic workspace as well.
And not necessarily having all the right materials at the right time. And that can be like in the classroom for young children. It can also be experienced by students at high school where they don't arrive at the right class with the right equipment or the right book, or because
I don't know they intended to.
But there were so many other things. Their cognitive load was just getting a bit too much, and it might seem a simple task to try and remember, but all these other things were going on that fell by the wayside.
I think it's also got a big impact with kind of your sensory system as well, and the level of neural arousal, because if you're heightened either in an excitable way or in a kind of an anxiety way, then it's going to be a lot harder for you to access the frontal cortex of your brain, and that is the bit that executive function comes from. So if you're anxious about something, then you're relying more on your emotional brain than you are on your thinking brain, and so some of those executive functions shut down.
That was a really good explanation, because I've seen that in myself. Running around the airport last week, and I left my phone somewhere, and I couldn't even it's not me.
And you know, then you start to get into a panic, and all of those kind of skills that you would normally have when you're feeling calm are not there when you're stressing about things or panicking, or if you're very excitable about something and you really want to get on and do it, then sometimes that inhibition of I need to stop and think about what I'm going to do, make sure I've got everything that I need to do this task goes, because it's I need to do this now. And so the kids that are in the classroom that are kind of rushing into things sometimes that haven't thought it all through, and then it goes disastrously wrong. Potentially that is why, it's because they've got that heightened level of neural arousal, so they're kind of using that emotional brain rather than the thinking.